Welcome to episode 94 of the Wilderness Podcast. I am your host, Dilz, and with me is Deagin.
Hey, how's it going?
So this week, what are we going to be talking about? Well, looks like we have some minor quality of life changes tied in with some mobile updates and little small things like that. But there seems to be a lot more going on throughout the community. Jagex brings in a new Twitch promo. We'll get into it, but it could be quite unsettling. A topic is brought up on the subreddit about Varrock free-to-play multi-PKing, something many of us used to do in the past, and the community that still currently did it took a hit during one of the updates in the past. And another bug gets brought up, and this one has to do with PKing, and seems to have been in the game for quite some time now. But before we get into all of that, Deagin, what did you do this week?
Not so much, actually. We've been having like a pretty big heat wave, and with that comes like really intense storms. So this past like week and probably a bit longer than a week, it gets super fucking hot, and then what I think happens is like everybody in like my apartment complex turns on their ACs and shit, and then the power goes out.
Okay, yeah.
And then when the storms hit, they're so bad the power goes out.
Okay,
so
yeah.
like, dude, I've been getting like daily power outages, and now that I bring that up, I was gonna mention like if I sound like any different, it's just because my mic is like completely fucked right now, and a lot of weird issues. But I'm thinking with all the power outages, it might have actually messed up my audio interface.
Ooh, that could be bad. You're sounding a little poppy on my end.
Yeah.
But it might just be what I'm hearing. Maybe we can fix it up in the post-recording.
Yeah, well, no, that's just Discord being shit.
So a little glitch right off the bat here. So
yeah,
it doesn't happen too often. There are times where I accidentally hit the stop button on our recording program, which makes things a little tricky.
Yeah,
but,
whatever.
Yeah.
If it's fucked, I'll just like go get a temporary setup. But like right now, I know my mic's fucked. Doesn't matter, anyways. So that being said, I played like minimum amounts of RuneScape.
No PKing.
I went PKing twice, and then one trip got cut short because I knew the power was gonna go out. So I tellied out, and like 5 seconds after I tellied, the power went out. And then the other time, I was attacking some dude, and I guess this can kind of lead into like one of my rants. I guess one of my many rants. So like I'm running around solo PKing, kind of like. Oh, go check out Venenatus, go check out Callisto, go like check out the Rev cave entrance, go up to Lava Dragons, and it's like, it's hard to find people. Chaos Altar, camp the Burning Amulet teleports, and it's kind of a pain to like find people. You can find like PVMers and stuff, but like, usually they're like a low level, and like, I'm gonna lose money, cause all I'm gonna get are like D'hide chaps, and like monkfish.
Yeah.
So I just kind of let them go. What I noticed is that it's really hard to find other solo PKers. So typically, I'd be in like salads, right? I'd be in like Xertian, like top and bottom and stuff. But now I'm like running around in Mystics, and what I find, maybe I only went PKing like twice, right? So this is a very minor sample size. But I would bump into someone, we'd be fighting, like, nice, cool, got a fight going. And like 3 dudes just roll up, and his clanmates show up. And I'm like, oh. Okay, so now I'm fighting 3 people, even though I'm in singles, so it's not a big deal. And then all I would do is like just run away and tell you out. I'm like, okay. So it kind of made me realize that all of like Wilderness Rejuvenation is built around clanning. It's not built around PKing, it's built around clanning.
I know we have talked about this because when the Wildy Rejuvenation came out, I feel like we had 3 episodes worth of
yeah, we probably talked about it then, yeah.
I feel like it's become this vicious circle where like everybody wants the Wilderness to be what it used to be back in the day, but it's really hard to do that. So what does Jagex try to do? They try to bring PVMers into the Wilderness. So they come into the Wilderness, and they're hoping that's going to attract PKers there, and then they're going to hope that other PKers come to PK those people, and you get this sort of little trail of PKers kind of following each other all the way to the first PKer who was going there for the PVMers. So what just tends to happen is that, again, I'm not a good, I can barely PK. I like PKing. I used to do it a lot back in the day. I've did it a bunch, not a bunch. I've done a handful of it on my account now. So I'm not the most educated when it comes to PKing. But it just seems to be that the way things are, and it's almost always going to be this way, but groups are way better than like a solo player. Like a group is going to just be stronger, of course, right? That's obvious. I don't know. I just feel like PVMers coming to the wilderness, it doesn't really incentivize solo players to go PK them. I don't know. It doesn't really, now that I'm saying it, it doesn't entirely make sense, but it just seems to be what's happening.
It's because everything is in a multi-zone. I guess minus like wilderness, the resource area. I guess it's the one exception.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Everything's in multi. Like, you're gonna kill people trying to get their new Mage Arena cape, multi-zone. Like, I guess Callisto, the 5 seconds they're luring the bear, they're in multi, but like Revs is like kind of where everyone goes now, but Chaos Altar is like the one thing that like it's in multi, but like you can react fast enough usually if a clan logs in on you. Like when I went to Chaos Altar, I was attacking someone, and I don't know if it was just coincidence, but his clan logged in, or not his clan, but a clan logged in, and they were like pretty ready for me, and I was still able to like just walk out before like I got caught with a freeze, which is pretty lucky on my part, but. And then it just turns into like quickly get to singles. All right, barrage these people, just pray the right thing, eat up, and run. And so it's really frustrating. I didn't die. I didn't get any like actual kills, like nothing, like no real kills. You know, kill like one PVM or like one dude who's got nothing on him, just because I'm like, fuck, I want to kill someone.
You know, and it also might have to do with the fact that since the PKing community is so small, most of the time the people who are big into PKing, they have multiple friends who are also PKers. So you're going to want to go in a group together because it's going to be more fun. You're going to have people to talk to, especially if you're having trouble actually finding people.
Yeah.
If you're going solo, it gets kind of boring when you're just running around or world hopping.
A good go-to area is East Dragons, and I would go there, but I'm too like most like if I bet you if I was like a max Triverd Pure or something, or like a high level Zerker, I would be able to find fights all the time there, but like I would go there and find like one person to fight maybe, and they would just run away because I'm like I got like 10 levels on them.
Mm-hmm.
There is some good like activity there, but I'm too high of a level, which kind of sucks. And I don't want to get in the clanning community because I'm like not good at PKing.
Yeah, plus it might be a bit of a commitment. It's
a commitment, and then like I don't know, I group all sandbox PvP communities together. You know, Eve, pretty much. My experience with Eve was not the best. It was extremely toxic, at least when like we'd go and like fight other like corps, which would be like clans, I guess. It's the equivalent.
Right. Not corporeal beasts.
It was extremely like toxic, and I don't know if you want to consider Rust one of those games, but you know, I played some like Rust today, or not today, this week. And just everyone's dropping N-bombs, like hard R-ing every 5 seconds because everyone's like 13 and they think it's funny. And everyone's like super toxic, and like you get a friend request because you kill someone, they're just like shit talking you, and you're like, Jesus Christ. So I kind of lump everyone together, which isn't fair, but.
You lump people across every single video game out there.
You like PvP? Well, here are some things you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just in a bad mood in general. This week has been really annoying. On more positive stuff, I guess. So because I'm like out at, like, I want to play RS, but I don't want to just like do agility while I'm taking dumps, because that's like all I've done. I went to like a little, I went to Cutthroat's, little giveaway, and I'm like, I looked outside, I'm like, nice, it's a beautiful day out, my power won't go out. I'm not even kidding, because they did, let me back up. They did like a cool little event where you go to Castle Wars, and then at the last 5 minutes of Castle Wars, they would just drop like a bunch of shit in the middle. Kind of like, they like kind of called it like a battle royale.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, someone in our Discord posted it in the CC, or posted it in, holy shit, someone in our Discord posted it in one of the channels. It's like, oh, I'm bored, I'll go. Anyways, so as soon as I get in the Castle Wars, just like a fucking huge thunderstorm starts going, my windows start shaking, I see an Abby whip drop, go to pick it up, boom, power goes out.
I'm getting DDoS.
I'm just like sitting in the darkness, just staring, like fucking just pissed off, like my power won't stop going out. So I started playing WoW, and I played like a vanilla WoW private server for a bit.
Okay, how's that going?
It's not bad. It's fun. And then I started playing retail, like the actual like live WoW, because they have like their pre-patch for the new expansion.
How's that?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, so we record on Sundays, so like an hour ago I did like the Stranglethorn Vale fishing contest, and I won that, which is really nice. Get a nice little achievement for that. That's pretty much the only thing I can't complain about that I did this week.
Fair enough.
I have a bunch of flips in the GE, and I have no idea if they bought or sold, so I can't really give you guys updates on that, because I know the second I open up RS, my power is going to go out.
Yeah, that's what's cutting out the power. It's the RuneScape. Your apartment building has some sensor. The skyscaping, cut it out.
I just have so many pixels in my bank that I have to pull more like volts from my outlet, and it just cuts all power. Just breaks all the circuits. But yeah, what'd you do this week?
My week, let's see. So non-RS video game related, I started playing No Man's Sky again because they have this big update that's supposed to be coming out at the end of the month. It looks pretty fucking sweet. But anyways, RuneScape related. So I've been mentioning that I haven't really been doing anything on RuneScape. I've basically just been woodcutting, and then I'll be playing either RimWorld or some other game on the side. And then I do cooking when I'm editing the podcast or something along those lines where I need to focus on something else. But I can still kind of play RuneScape on the side. So I'm doing cooking. It's more click intensive than woodcutting, but still, it's pretty AFK and a lot of experience from that. So I'm 98 cooking right now.
Nice.
I'll probably have 99 this week. I guess so. It's a lot of experience. It's fast and it's easy to do. You make a little bit of profit. It's really nothing much to brag about, but still, it's better than losing money.
Yeah, dude, free 99.
But yeah, since I've started my woodcutting, must have been a couple weeks now, but I've been able to get 5,000 magic logs, which is quite a bit. I have no idea how much woodcutting I was even doing, but it just all adds up. So I sold all that, and I decided to squash that Abbey Demon task that I had going. I got like halfway through it, only doing Abyssal Sire, but I'm not a huge fan of that boss at all. It's okay, but once you do 100, I'm just like burnt out. I'm like, I don't want to do anymore for like another month. Just because the whole process, you have all these waits. We have to wait for him to go transition to the next phase. You're just standing there waiting, and it's kind of a pain in the ass, especially if you have to kill 250 of them.
Yeah, now you can see why I would take a month Slayer breaks in between Sire tasks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful.
And that's exactly what I was doing. I was just woodcutting because I didn't feel like doing my Abyssal Sire task. So instead, I went and killed the Abbey Demons just because I was like, you know what, let's move on. Let's see what my next tasks are. And just kind of doing some Slayer again. Just trying to, do a little bit of Slayer here and there instead of just woodcutting and cooking.
I can proudly say I used my 6th block from the Lumberj Elites on blocking Abbey Demons.
Nice.
After going 2,000 dry on a whip, and I have everything from Sire, demons are shit experience, shit money. I'm out. I'm outie. I blocked that the second I could.
I don't mind that task. The chance for the whip is always nice. But I've been in this weird, I mentioned before, I'm in this weird like little rut on old school RuneScape, and it's just got me thinking a bit about the game itself, and which kind of led me to do something. I did the unspeakable this week. I don't know how to say this, but I made an Iron Man on RuneScape 3.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was kind of, I pay a little attention to RuneScape 3. Just when the bosses come out, I like to see what's going on over there, especially with their drama that comes with the microtransactions. It's a bit entertaining. Mm-hmm. And since that's basically like the father game of old school RuneScape, I don't know, it's a weird game. It has everything that old school RuneScape has for the most part. It's just everything is just so different than what it used to be. Mm-hmm. But I figured I'd try it out and just see what's up. So what I ended up spending 12 mil on bonds because I'm an idiot.
Wait, you spent 12 mil on bonds because you're an idiot?
Yeah. So I have...
You have to elaborate a bit more on that.
Yeah, I'm going to. I have currently about 7 accounts on RuneScape. Mm-hmm. And 6 of those accounts are really old accounts from like 2004, 2005. Because when I was younger, I loved making accounts. I had a Magic Pure account, a Range Pure account, a melee pure account where I only got attack because I was stupid. I have a skiller. I have my tri-breeding or my hybrid pure. And then I have another account that was like my new main because I gave away my old main.
You gonna lucid dream someone?
I don't know what that means.
Lucid Dream, he was the rank 1 Zarek, like, Olm killer. He did the most Zarek kills. And he got hacked for, like, his whole bank, which is a fuck ton. You know, couple tens of bills. And it was discovered that his child, like, when he was younger, one of his childhood friends gave him the account.
Oh.
And then, like, I guess now they're like, oh, I want the account back. Or, like, you know, something like that. Something like that went on where someone had the original login details. So, dude, he's gonna lucid dream someone. You gotta see where your account's at. Find a couple free bill.
I wouldn't do that because I gave it away to an old RuneScape friend of mine. But I was like, we only played RuneScape together, but we were pretty good friends just from that. I haven't talked to him in a while, though. But I do know the account's like fully maxed out. And that's also been kind of why I don't really care about having it back because, I don't know, there's something... I don't know. RuneScape's about making your own gains, doing your accomplishments. It feels like it would take a lot of it would get taken away if you just got your account and it was fully maxed out. I don't think it would be as fun as if you did it yourself.
No, of course not.
So, yeah, I don't know. But anyways, so what I decided to do was I wanted to make an Iron Man on RuneScape 3 because I've tried to play RuneScape 3 in the past on another account and you just get bombarded with microtransactions and you play it for an hour and next thing you know you have like level 20 divination and level 32 summoning. Obviously I'm exaggerating, but you have all of these stats and like these weird items for like some holiday event that's going on. I would get overwhelmed and I don't even know what divination does. So having level 20, you've just skipped a bunch of the early levels that would help you kind of learn what it does. Yeah, I would just get super overwhelmed and then stop playing it. And if I ever came back to it, I'd have no fucking clue what my account's doing. So I've thought maybe an Iron Man might be kind of fun. I can kind of slowly tick away at some of the skills and kind of learn how things are going without having a bunch of shit thrown at you. Because if you're an Iron Man, you skip all that microtransactions. I think you skip some of the events that happen in the game too. It's just slows your progress down a bit, but I don't know. It's probably less overwhelming for a new player. I'm not too sure, but I just decided I wanted to try it out. So what I would do is I would buy a bond and I would put it on one of my old accounts. And then I'm like, okay, give this guy a bond. I'm going to play RuneScape 3. I'm going to go through the tutorial and do all that again, activate the bond on that account. And then I'd log into it on RuneScape 3 and I would realize I'm an idiot. Since I made this account in 2005, all the stats are carried over. All the stats and all the items are carried over to the new game. So I'm like, oh, I can't even do an Iron Man on this guy. He's just a normal account. I'm stupid. So then I'm like, I'd log off. There's a waste of a bond. And then I would start going through my old accounts, trying to figure out all the passwords and stuff. And oh, boom, I found another one. Buy a bond, throw it back on there, go onto the account on RuneScape 3, and oh, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm doing the exact same thing. This is just another account from 2005. So there, 2 bonds gone, and I have just 2 normal accounts that have membership now, and I'm like, well, fuck, man. And at this point, it was like, I've already wasted like 8 mil on bonds for no reason. I'm going to be playing an Iron Man on RuneScape 3. No matter how many bonds it's going to take, I'm not wasting these 2. I ended up just making a whole brand new account, and then going on my...
Dude, you could have used Wild Dilz.
No, I can't. That was one of my old accounts.
Oh, was it? Oh...
Actually, I think I did. I think I put... That's exactly it. I was like, Wild Dilz, that's from the podcast. So therefore, there's no way I've played him on RuneScape 3 through the bond on that account. And then I was like, oh yeah, this is like my old skilling account. So I hop on RuneScape 3 and the dude's sitting in fucking Karamja fishing lobsters. I go check the bank, see if this guy has anything. And oh, he has 200 lobsters. What a waste of an account.
Dude, with inflation though, that's like 2 mil.
Yeah, hell yeah. All that interest. But I haven't really been doing too much on RuneScape 3. I just really wanted to check out some of the things in it. I wanted to rediscover some of the areas that, you know, we all know in old school RuneScape.
Yeah.
For what and a lot of people hate that game, which is understandable. The combat system is pretty wacky. But I will say the questing in that game is really good. I don't know, I find myself actually enjoying a lot of the quests that I was doing. I just find the quests in that game compared to Old School RuneScape, they're like, Old School RuneScape has good quests, but you skip through all the dialogue because you don't give a shit. RuneScape 3, I found myself being more interested in the story, so I was actually reading the dialogue and paying attention during cutscenes.
Yeah.
But kind of playing that game and looking things up on it, I'm not going to stick with it. It's fun, but I don't get pulled to do it. It's usually like, fuck, I have nothing else to do. I'll just see what's going on there. I'll woodcut on the side. But it did get me thinking about Old School RuneScape and the weird state some of the endgame content is in. So the fact is that I had never really thought about it before, but it really did dawn on me this week when I was kind of, I've been in a rut trying to figure out things to do, but there's not really that much endgame content. You know? Like, what is there?
In, like, Old School?
Yeah.
Raids?
Yeah, Chambers of Zarek, Theater of Blood, The Inferno.
Maxing. Double death runes, baby.
Yeah, double death runes. There's, I guess, Corp could be thrown in the same tier as the rating, but not really, because you gotta be a high level to do it, but it's not that hard of a boss.
No, you just, hey, anyone got with Dragon Warhammer? Cool, let's go do it. Hey, we have insta-tellies right next to it. Dope.
Yeah, let's spec him down a bunch so that we're not taking a huge amount of damage, and we're able to damage him a bunch. But you don't really gotta think too much. There's not really too many mechanics involved.
But, I don't know, I would consider, like, doing Elite Diaries endgame content. Getting your quest cape, well, not quest cape, but getting all the Elite Diaries done. Getting those, like, final Varrock 5s and stuff, like that's endgame content for sure.
The only reason, like, I agree, it is definitely endgame content. I'm gonna put that in quotes, though, because, like, with Achievement Diaries, you're not, I don't know, it's not, like, a fun thing to necessarily do.
It is for some people.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough. I don't know, it's just this weird argument I've had with myself. It's that, like, with raiding and the Inferno, the process of actually doing it's pretty fun. Like, you're having, you're involved a lot, and it's just, I don't know, you know what I mean. And then Achievement Diaries, you're kind of grinding out stats to do something, which I would say it's more satisfying.
Well, it's more of like you're grinding out stats to like unlock a piece, like a specific piece of untradeable gear. It's not like, oh, I wanted the Kramja 5, so I got 91 runecrafting. That's endgame content. It's like, I've unlocked these Kramja glove 5s. Now I can get like a free task, or like I can get a task from Duradel and, maybe get a boss task,
Yeah.
Teleport to Duradel. Maybe help me get those boss tasks. That's the only thing is that, like, you can't compare RuneScape to, like, other MMOs because, like, okay, with WoW, like, I've come back, it's pre-patch, so all the classes are super broken. They're either really bad or really good because the stats are, like they changed how, like, HP values, like, they just fuck with the whole game in preparation of the new expansion that comes out next month. No one's raiding unless, like, you're, like, a hardcore guild and you're just, like, gearing up other accounts to level that. Like, yeah, but you don't really do that. Or you're a really bad guild that literally hasn't cleared a raid yet. But there's, like, as of right now, there's nothing to do. In WoW, endgame content is, like, raids, and then, which is, like, raids in RuneScape, I guess, but then also achievements, which are the same thing as, like, achievement diaries. They're the same thing. Like, so, like, I'm bored as hell, right? I re-rolled a new guy, he's, like, 110 right off the bat. Okay, now what? Like, do this, and, like, now I'm just getting achievements and stuff. Just hanging out with my buddies. But, like, with RS, it doesn't have that same type of progression, because if you just think, like, of, like, raiding as endgame content, then all you have to do is get your Western Hards done, and then NMZ to max stats. That's all, and then maybe buy bonds to get your prayer up to 70 and get piety.
Yeah.
And then you're done, like, right? You can do that, like, if you have that same mindset, you could be ready to do endgame content in, like, 2 months.
Yeah, you definitely could put the time, especially with the mobile client out now. Super easy to NMZ on it.
Yeah, but, like, what I mean is that, like, there's no one that plays this game for 2 months and they're like, alright, I hit the end game, hey, I cleared the raid once or twice and I'm bored. Like, I mean, there's probably someone that's done that, but there's so much more to the game, and there's so much, like, it's so much more organic in terms of, like, what you're doing when you jump on. Like, Yeah, there's like just like a lot of like little random things that you can do or that you're just like working on. Everyone has different goals.
I guess what I should say is being a higher level now, I'm level 123. I can kind of understand why sometimes there's a push for more PVM content.
Yeah.
Now that I'm a higher level, there's like 3 main things on my radar, which is Chambers of Xeric, which I am able to do, but I just want to get better at it and maybe good enough so I could start being a Sherpa for other people. I like to use that term Sherpa. It comes from Destiny. That's what they used to call these type of people. It's when a Sherpa is somebody, I don't know the actual term, but in the real world, they would use that for somebody who's going to be bringing mountain climbers through Mount Everest. You would hire a Sherpa to bring you with them, someone who's very experienced and can help you not die up there. Using that terminology for like old school RuneScape, it would be somebody who is good enough to kind of carry you through a raid and teach you how to do it. So you're not just dying 15 times on Olm and getting 0 points. You're going to finish it and your Sherpa's going to have all the points. So I'd like to get there for Chambers of Xeric. That's on my radar. And then I have Theater of Blood that I want to be able to do. And then eventually I want to be able to do the Inferno. Just those are the 3 main things. Which is why I kind of looked at RuneScape 3 and it made me kind of want to just look into it a bit because they have, since it's been out for, obviously it's been out for longer, it's going to have so much more to pick from. But they have like a plethora of different bosses and like other raiding-esque activities on it. The reason old school RuneScape only has like the 3 main things, it's just because it's kind of a newer game. Seeing how it's been out for 5 years, it's been out for a while, but
well, it's also got more of like a hardcore rooted community where there's a big push for nothing to change. So it stunts the growth, but I think that's actually good for the game, but
it is good because eventually when we do get good gear, it's usually pretty damn tuned for the next step up, which we haven't really had the step up's been 75 tier 75. But we know that when we do get like a tier 78, it's going to be pretty well tuned for the game because if it's even the slightest overpowered or underpowered, it's not going to be passing. And Jagex is just going to have to keep going to the drawing board to figure out what the hell can we bring to the table to satisfy these players. Also, why we haven't had that many endgame content, it's just because it's taken a long time for a large percentage of the player base to become endgame players, which is only just kind of happening in the recent years, which is when we saw the introduction of Chambers of Xeric, and we saw the introduction of the Inferno, and now Theater of Blood. So it's going to take some time for them to get more content out there, because as more players get to that level, more people are going to want it.
It's kind of like a catch-22, hopefully I'm using this phrase properly, but when there's more like quote-unquote endgame content, or like high-level PVM content that comes out, if you can't do it, you want to be able to do it now. Like, so what happens is Theater of Blood comes out. Nice, new endgame content. But now we have Theater of Blood Easy Street, where it's geared for level 100s, and you can solo it. And, you know what I mean? And you're like, well, this really, I know you can't get, like, the rapier or the staff or the scythe, but it still takes away, oh nice, got an Avernick, you know what I mean? Decent split. Like, it takes away from, like, we're doing Theater of Blood because we put in the time to earn it. Like, it takes away from, like, it actually being truly endgame instead of, like, you could possibly hit level 100, get your just Void set, you know, your DDS, because you don't need D-Claws or all that stuff. You can get by with the DDS as your spec weapon, your whip, go rip through it a bunch. Oh, nice. We finally got a defender. Well, now we all have, like, let's say we did a 3-man or something, or a 4-man. Cool, that's 50 mil each, or 50 plus mil each. We can just dump this into, like, good gear now, or we can dump it in, like, a bunch of skilling or power leveling methods. Like, use it to, like, really throw your count up to, like, I think I used the phrase, but, like, you use it to, like, leapfrog the game. And then what happens is now there's more people at endgame, and then more content comes out, but then more people are like, well, I want to do that. And it becomes this weird thing where, like, they can put out more endgame content, but then people get really upset because they're putting out endgame content that, yeah. There's like a bar when content comes out, there's like a bar and people want to just be above it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they came out with something that, like, let me look up my stats right now. So I can just have like a really shitty example. Let's say they came out with some really sick, hot new boss, right? I don't even know what you would call it. A big, giant squirrel, okay?
Big giant squirrel.
And everyone's like, dude, that's so fucking sick. You can now become a squirrel when you kill it. That's gonna be cool. And I'm like, yeah, it's totally sweet. And it's like, you get free bonds. And you go, oh, this is awesome. And then it's like, but you need 87 agility. Or like 90 agility. And I'm like, well, for fuck's sakes, I only have 81 agility. And it's out today. I'm pissed. Jagex, what? 90? Why is 90? Why not 80 agility? 90 is such an obscure number. Like, what do we really unlock at 90? We might as well just make it 82 because Cerberus. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, people get like upset if they can't do it instantly. Or like, hey, new mining boss. But you need 82 mining. Well, for fuck's sakes, Jagex, I have 81 mining. This is bullshit. Let's just make it 81 or 80. That makes more sense. That's kind of like what like a lot of people, I mean, I do it myself. I mean, I think everyone does it to some extent where new content comes out and you want to be able to do it on day one because it's new, but if you can't, you get upset, obviously, but
I can totally understand that mindset.
I understand, I just don't agree with it. Even though I fall victim to it as well.
It's so rough to go like, wow, this new content, let's go on the stream. Since I can't do it and enjoy it, let's go watch other people on Twitch and watch them enjoy this stuff. So then you're just sitting on your computer watching them and you're like, yeah, that looks fun.
Well, like with the Inferno and Theater of Blood, I was like, I watched that shit. I was so into it.
Yeah, I don't normally watch Twitch, and I watch streams for like 8 hours straight.
There's like a ongoing joke between like my buddies where when Inferno was like announced, when it was like, hey, it'll be coming out in 2 weeks, I said as like offhand comment, like, it's gonna be pretty hard, but like, I feel like I could get it by Monday. And that was like a week before Inferno came out. And like, here I am being like, there's no fucking way. I could sit down, put in 40 attempts. I'm probably not getting that yet. My power's gonna go out. Jesus.
Yeah. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy watching that stuff. Like, I mean, it sucks that I can't participate in it. Like, I'm kind of salted. I still haven't done Theater of Blood because I just don't have I don't know anyone that can actually do it that has the gear and the levels and stuff. And that are willing to sit down for like a weekend and just like fucking grind it out. Everyone that I've talked to that can do it either like joined a clan to go do it, or they're like, I didn't get it my first attempt, so I don't ever want to do it again. This sucks. So, of course, like, I'm in that position now where I'm like, I'm kind of pissed that I haven't done it, because, like, I don't even know how many Chamber of Xerx kills I have, but I passed my goal for this year. I want to say I'm over 300 or something, I'm not really too sure. And I'm pretty bored of it. Like, I think I said last time I did it, I, like, walked in the Mutadile room, and then I just, like, kind of forgot I was killing the little Mutadile, and I just, like, went to the bathroom and came back, and I was dead. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. And I'm, like, running the hand, and I'm like, hey, I did a pretty good job of that. But, like, this is boring. I'm gonna not do another run. Like, fuck that. You know, I can still look at, like, Inferno. Theater of Blood, I'm kind of salty about it. Inferno, I can still, like, kind of get excited about one day I'll be able to do it.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, maybe I just have patience for that stuff, because, like, I've had to, like, grind to unlock content before, and then once I do it, it's super nice. Like, I've had that reward before, so maybe I'm more patient with that. I don't know if the average player has never done, like, Raids 1 or anything, so they just kind of see this as, like, I'm just using Theater of Blood as an example, because it's the most recent. But, like, maybe since they've never, like, I guess the experience of, like, sitting down and grinding out, like, some sort of content that they're really set on doing, and then actually being able to do it a bunch, they don't want to do it, or I don't know. You know what I'm trying to get at? It's kind of hard to convey my thought, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm going to use this to segue it. We're not just going to ramble on about the problem with some endgame content, but I can totally understand with Theater of Blood, entry mode coming out and how people would want it because they want to be able to experience it. It looks like a lot of fun. When you and I tried it, it was pretty fun to try it out and to struggle through a lot of the rooms.
Yep.
The main reason why I'm against it is because when you do Theater of Blood entry mode, you're not, and you're able to complete it, and let's say you're level 110, and you're just running that now with your friends, and you guys are having a great time. When you guys get to like 120, you guys have all the good gear to finally do normal Theater of Blood.
That shit will be boring.
Yeah, the sense of accomplishment isn't going to be like, oh, I can't wait to do regular Theater of Blood. It's just going to be like, yeah, I'll be glad when I'm there to move on to the next step. It's going to be fun because it's going to be a bit different and a little bit tougher, but it won't be as exciting as it was learning it the first time.
Yep.
It's like Chambers of Xeric. I'm doing it on regular mode, and eventually I'm going to be doing it on the challenge mode because I'll be better at the game. I'll be more geared, and I'll just be ready for that content. But I'm not like sitting there being like, I can't wait to get to challenge mode. It's going to be so much fun.
Wait until you do it. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's just sitting there for when I get there. That's what I'll be moving on to, maybe. We'll see. Anyways, so they did mention Theater of Blood entry mode. We should have seen a poll for it already. They said, I think it was June 16th or July 16th, we were supposed to see the poll. They since scrapped that deadline and said they're going to be looking into more feedback and looking at more of their data, and they might tweak some things before they actually bring out entry mode, or bring out the polls at least. So it seems like they started noticing something, which made them not want to bring it out as fast as they originally wanted to.
Yeah. I think the point you made about you're not going to be excited to do the real version, they probably know that.
Yeah, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Anyways, enough of that. Let's move on to some actual good old-fashioned news. Good old school news.
Nice. So for this week, we have the mobile chat quality of life and bank deposit boxes. They're being taken out of the game. That sucks, but no, I'm kidding. So the mobile content changes. So I don't know if you realized or didn't, I don't know if you noticed it, but before, if you had your private chat tab hidden, every time someone logged in or logged out, it would cause it to flash.
Yeah, and then you would open it up and you would see nothing. It would just be blank.
Yeah, that shit was super annoying. So they changed that. They fixed the chat box size to prevent overlapping with different interfaces, which was something I complained about. Well, the first thing I noticed was that it overlapped with fucking everything.
Yeah.
But they fixed that, so that's nice. Like the current favor the overlay will properly, expand when you tap on mobile, all that good stuff.
Cool.
Interfaces such as Cast Wars, Winter Todd, which is the big one I noticed, Chamber of Xeric, Motherlode Mine, the Pinball Random Event, Galvix Hit Point Bar, Kill Count God Wars, Volcanic Mine, blah, 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 blah. They tweaked all this stuff, or they will be gradually coming in throughout the next couple weeks.
Yep.
But they're pretty much done. I'm assuming they don't want some crazy bug to happen. So there's now an additional option to split private chat, and they also added an additional option to stop split chat from appearing when the all tab was closed. Okay. Pretty smart. They changed the icon, internet connection icon, and the battery. I see the battery twice. They look a little bit better and a little bit more easy to notice.
Okay, cool.
That's pretty much it for that update. This one's a doozy. This is game changer. So they had a poll asking if they should add more bank deposit boxes, and it passed. So we now have bank deposit boxes at Clan Wars, Shanty Pass, the Duel Arena, Etcetera, I don't know, etc., but Etcetera, Motherlode Mine, Barbasalt, Mage Arena, Legends Guild, Mount Quita Mortem, which is where Chamber of Xeric is, Rogue's Den, Arceus, Lovakench, the Hesidious Houses, the Karen Castle, Lunar Isle, and yeah, that's it for the updates, pretty much.
Cool stuff.
Shitty, not too much stuff this update, but
it's a bit of a slow one, I guess, because that the whole pickpocketing. I feel like the fiasco with the pickpocketing change with the coin purses, it's made them kind of, all right, let's hold off on some of those integrity changes. I don't know if there's any more that needs to come out, but let's do a little one because we're a little paranoid that there might be another game-breaking bug. We've had 2 solid ones this year.
There's 2 things I should mention, sorry. One is that there's not going to be a Midsummer event this year.
Oh, that's right.
So they added the previous items to Diango's toy store. So you got some nice fashionscape there.
Perfect.
If you want to see it. And coin pouches can no longer be taken to the Alchemist Playground. Do you think someone was bugging out some max cash in there?
Well, I think
what was happening is they were opening it up in there and then using it for the points.
Yeah, that's right. Although I saw a post from one of the J mods, I can't remember which one, but they said when the Mage Training Arena was first added into the game, somebody took the J mod who wrote the code for that content. He took it upon himself to give the coins within the arena a different item ID number.
Oh, okay, so they thought ahead.
Yeah, they thought ahead.
Smart fellas. Okay, cool.
All right, so that's it for the news?
Yeah. The graphical issues as always, but they fixed some typos.
Cool.
That's it for the news, though. But there was maintenance on Wednesday, so servers are probably going to be in worse situation they were before, as history repeats itself. Every time there's maintenance, the server quality just drops. They should just call it downgrades. They should just be honest.
Anyways, I have a few doozies going on within the RuneScape community this week. What should we start with? Should we start with some good old microtransaction talk?
Well, what's the other one?
So we got microtransaction talk, and then we got some PvP.
All right, so if you're listening, pick up your phone and press 1. No, I'm going to choose. Let's talk about PvP first.
Oh, PvP, okay, so these ones are a little bit smaller, but let's start with the smallest of them all. Save the best for last.
Yeah.
So I saw a post on the subreddit. Unfortunately, I can't find the actual post right now, but there was a video linked with it. This was from Liked Gaming on YouTube, and it was a video of a small community on Oldschool RuneScape where all they would do is free-to-play multi-PK in Varrock. A lot of us are returning players from back in the day, so I'm sure majority of us are familiar with this. But if you're not, if you go north from Varrock East Bank, past the church, you eventually leave the actual city and you come to the wilderness.
Do you want the post? Sorry to interrupt, but do you want the post? I have it right here.
Oh, sure. Oh, cool. This is it, yeah. So what made this part of the wilderness so special to many of us was it was similar to Edgeville PKing, where you can kind of go in there. You'll see a variety of different levels, and you find your people and you just kind of fight. Varrock PKing, on the other hand, though, was a multi-area. So what tended to happen was a lot of lower players would be there, lower level players back in the day, and you would either bring some friends with you or you would meet people there and you would just kind of have this agreement that you guys are going to partner up. You would go in the wilderness and you would wait for somebody your level to come in. Since it's multi, the both of you would attack them. Normally that one other player would be with some other people. Next thing you know, you have a little kind of team fight going on. Or sometimes there'd be like 4 different teams all waiting for somebody to come in there, and then you'd have this little brawl that would happen between the groups of people. Anyways, fast forward to 2013 when Oldschool RuneScape's released. Eventually, Varrock PKing died out, and people just kind of stopped doing it, because once you get more knowledgeable about the wilderness, you realize you're not going to go in there by yourself. You're only going to go in there with a team, and other teams are just going to... Everyone just branches away from that area. Teams start going to the Revenant Caves. Solo Pkers start going to Edgeville and PvP Worlds. Eventually, that leaves the Varrock multi-area just a barren place. Well, there was a small community of people that enjoyed that type of PKing, and they found a way to kind of continue to PK. So there were clan chats set up for different brackets. The one given in this post was from level 30s to 40 combat. Now, it doesn't exactly say in here on how many different clan chats there were, but there were different clan chats for different brackets, and there might have been different clan chats for similar brackets, but just for different teams. But I'm going to assume that little teams would be formed within these clan chats, and they would fight other little groups as well. what people ended up doing was they would make a brand new account. They'd quickly grind some stats to get into the first bracket, and they would find a little group of people, and then they would go out and start PKing. And since you're such a low level, as you're PKing and fighting in the wilderness, you're getting experience, you're leveling up your skills. Eventually, your combat level jumps out of that bracket. So what you would do is you would join the next CC that had the next bracket, and you would move a little bit more north to a different area of the wilderness that was still multi, and you would just do the same thing. You would basically continue to do that until you either got bored or you got to a bracket that just wasn't as popular. So what then would happen is you would abandon that account, and you would probably make a new account and jump back into the brackets. Or maybe there's one specific bracket you enjoyed more than another, so you would just stay in that one. When your account got past that, you would throw it away and make a new account. A bit of a pain in the ass, but if you're doing something for the pure enjoyment of it, doesn't really matter too much. No one's making, bank here. This isn't like the new place to go to make millions. Anyways, unfortunately, Jagex came out with an update to kind of combat bots that would join clan chats, and they would just spam up someone else's clan chat. So what they did was, they made it in order to join a clan chat, you required 150 total level. Which, for most people, that's not a big deal. But if you're making a bunch of new accounts just to PK, having to grind out 150 total level is really going to add a lot of time that you're going to have to spend on that account, especially time not PKing. Time that you're going to spend wood cutting and fishing and fire making. So that update basically killed that little community that was going on. People just got bored of it faster because you're spending a lot more time leveling up other skills and not PKing. The effort just becomes a lot more than what it's actually worth. Anyways, the reason I'm talking about this was I thought it was kind of interesting. I had not heard of this little community that was going on. I thought Varrock PKing was completely dead, but turns out it was still alive in World 308. So, kind of unfortunate. I don't know if Jagex is going to do anything to help revive it, since it's such a niche little thing, right?
Yeah. So I guess the main points I want to make is that, one, Discord's a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
There are some issues, like if you look in our Discord, we can use ours as an example. Click on general and like, oh nice, 45 people are online. But they're not all in RuneScape. They're just, all those people have Discord open, so it's kind of like, who wants to do some 3 to 10 airstrikes piles? Like, no one responds. And you're like, oh, for fuck's sakes, right? Maybe join the CC, and then maybe join, but there are ways around it, right? There are specific channels that you can, lock, you can apply roles. There's, Discord, you can organize it very well, so you can minimize, make it more effective, I guess. But you can use Discord to circumvent CC. And then my second argument is, they said this is only temporary.
Oh yeah, okay, true.
When they first initiated this thing, they said it would only be temporary. But I think any restriction they do will affect these accounts. Unless it's do Imp Catcher and do Cook's Assistant and Sheep Shearer, it won't really affect the accounts. It might affect someone doing the spamming shit, right? Imp Catcher maybe.
A little bit, yeah.
Maybe Imp Catcher specifically, but there are, as of right now, they say it's temporary, but let's be real, temporary is probably 2 years. But these people really should get a Discord going, and you can spend an hour and have all the roles and everything set up properly and dedicate certain people to have the ability to organize level brackets. Because if you're willing to trash these airs, I'm using the first combat bracket, which is 3 to 10, what they specified, and there are people that they say there are people that would throw away those accounts that they got fucked over the hardest. And if they're willing to do that, I bet you one of them's willing to take that bracket leader, right, and be willing to be like, hey, let me put you in this bracket, and these are the current CCs that we're going to be using. Hey, look at this is our voice channels, and these are our chat channels for it. Hey, you're not interested in these level 3 to 10s? Well, it's fine. This is a role specific channels that you only see when you're in this role. You can have it really well organized.
Yeah, what We Do Raids has, the way they do it, is they have separate channels that are meant as waiting rooms, and they're voice channels, so you can see when somebody's in it, and you just jump in it, you mute your shit if you don't want to talk, but it shows that, like, if you're a newbie and you want to learn, you go wait in that channel, maybe some Sherpa's going to show up, he'll jump in there and be like, all right, guys, I'll take you, you, and you, let's go, jump into this channel, or whatever, right?
Someone jumps in, any girls? No? Okay, let me know there's a girl in here, I'll come take her. The way I look at this post, like, I feel like that there is an agenda that, like, I feel like they're being a little bit dishonest when they make this post.
Well, to be fair, though, if a majority of the people who are normally joining our clan chat is no longer able to join the clan chat because their total levels don't make it, sure, you could jump on your main account, but how do you get the fact that your Discord is out there? How do you let people know, hey, join this Discord?
Well, like, how do we tell people when there's a new episode? You can change the name, right? You can just have, like, use Discord, and then you can easily just have someone because these guys use bots to spam join our CCs, right? Like, how do people find these CCs, right? They have someone standing at Edgeville and Lumbridge.
I think it just takes a little bit more effort to get people to initially join your Discord. Once you're in the Discord, you're good to go. But you gotta. So might take some more time.
If I was this guy's position, this whole time he spent making this post, he could have. Okay, so right now there's in the one screenshot. There's what 3, 6, like 9 people in this one channel. I know there's multiple channels, and it says talking to 30 to 40 CB. You can change that to this is like use Discord, and you can just have someone with like a macro or something, like a fucking chat bot that just says this is the Discord channel, and just post that every time someone comes in. This is the Discord server, or like Twitter is blank, right? And there's ways to redirect. And if someone's too lazy to use Discord to do this type of a clan, if they're this dedicated to making hundreds of accounts they're throwing away, these people are they probably use Discord if they're clanning, or TeamSpeak, but they probably do something along those lines of they're not gonna be too lazy.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
I just feel like that I don't know, maybe there's something I'm completely missing, but it's a little complainy when it doesn't really need to be as much. It sucks, of course. I'd be really annoyed if I had a community built around this niche little thing that actually does sound pretty fun, but maybe
it also sucks to have your clan chat spammed up by bots, the level 3 bots.
Yeah, but even if someone new joins, you could just say PM blank, right? PM Deagin. And then if someone and then they PM this is the Discord, and that's it. You could there's ways, and the thing is that there's once the people join, they've joined. If a community like this is small, typically there's not new people joining every single day, being I'm gonna check. You know what I mean? Usually it's the same 20. Here. It's usually the same 20 people that and they stick around. Maybe someone leaves, maybe someone joins, but even then, that's
yeah.
I guess that the big thing
is a word of mouth thing.
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing is it does hinder growth of a community, which does. I mean, I'm not saying this is unreasonable, but I do think that the amount of effort they put in this post, they're not looking for solutions. They're looking for someone to vent to.
To be fair, though, they could be working on a solution, and maybe this post was a way to advertise a little bit. To get people, it has us talking about it. It has me going, wow, there's a Varrock multi-community. That does sound fun. I probably won't join it, but, maybe I would. Maybe there's other people who are listening who are I loved Varrock PKing. I'm definitely going to check to see if something's out there. And next thing you know, you have these new people being oh, something I was not aware this even existed.
Whatever. Maybe I'm just being a little negative Nancy, but I'm trying to think of something a decent equivalent, but I don't know. I just, yeah, it does suck. It does suck, but
the main reason I want to bring it up though was that I thought it was pretty cool that community actually existed at some point.
Yeah, it'd definitely be interesting to try give that community type of like aspect, like the dumb. I don't want to say dumb clanning, but it's silly clanning. You know what I mean? Like you're like level 3
It's
to 10.
straight for fun.
Yeah, you airstrike and then go kill some minotaurs for like an hour, and then you come back and do these janky ass like.
Really hope they don't have to deal with DDoSing. I'm pretty sure nobody's taking it that seriously.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on to the next PvP predicament. I think that's what we're going to go with. The PvP predicament. A popular YouTuber named Torvesta, a lot of people are probably aware, he primarily makes PvP content on YouTube, but he recently came out with a video that showed a bug that I don't know if a lot of people deal with this, but definitely some people deal with this. So what this bug was that on a PvP world, you would be able to go to an obscure place away from other players and have somebody else damage you, like really bring your health down a bunch. And then once you've been damaged a bunch by that person, you would go to probably the Grand Exchange. That's where a lot of people PK on PvP worlds. And you would bring out your full Dorocks, a Gmaul. You'd bring gear that is meant for rushing for the most part. You would use a rock cake to bring your health down to a low number. Not too low, you don't want to get Venge killed right off the bat. But low enough where if somebody is going to damage you, they're not doing more damage than what that person previously had damaged you for at that obscure place. What this allowed you to do would be, when you rushed someone, if that person killed you and you weren't able to kill them, you would be able to keep most of your gear. All your untradables, which is your full Dorocks, since it's damaged, it is now deemed untradable, so you would keep it on death. The person who killed you would get no loot from you. And it allowed you to kind of go rush people, hopefully get some kills, while also not really risking anything if you died. So as you can see, a little bit of a problem if you would like to PK on PvP worlds. Yeah, he made a video just to bring it to light.
I don't think, you don't have to Darok for the bug to happen. It just happens in general. If someone does X amount of damage to you, and I don't know, some weird shit, it just turns PvP to PVM deaths, and you'll see it in, if you watch enough YouTuber, PKing YouTubers, it just happens eventually. Framed had this thing where he was PKing at third age, and it just happened. It's not like he wasn't DH bombing or anything. He was PKing in third age mage or something, and he ends up dying. And it was it counted as a PVM death, so he was able to run back and pick up all of his stuff. Right, it does happen.
True.
It does. It happens. I don't know exactly how the interaction works. But you're able to manipulate it where you can be full health and just have a normal fight. But you're able to just keep all your shit pretty much. You can go back and pick it all up. And it's been an issue for ever pretty much. I've made comments of oh, so I guess this is the update where they fix PVM deaths and PKing situation. I think I've said that 2 or 3 times since we started this podcast, because they'll say this should prevent it, where they do something to try and fix it, but it doesn't actually do anything. Mm-hmm. It is a really big issue in the Edgeville / PvP world PKing community. Deep World 2, it happens sometimes. It does happen intentionally, so don't think, if it ever happens against you, they're doing it intentionally. It does just happen sometimes, but you can definitely manipulate it so that you can set it up so that they'll never get your loot.
Yeah, and you're essentially not risking anything.
Pretty much what I expect is, in 2 weeks from now, they're gonna completely rework how the death mechanic works in PvP, and you're gonna drop max cash stacks when you die.
Sick.
Yeah, that's my next prediction. But seriously,
back to square one.
They do need to fix this. It is really annoying. I haven't experienced it too much. I've never lost out on loot because of this. It's never happened to me either. But also, I'm not I'm more of a PVMer. I have PK'd, but I would not consider myself a PKer or competent at all in general. No, but in PKing and stuff, I don't know. It is good that he brought it to light, because it's kind of how you have to get these fixed, especially if it's been so long. I think he was kind of just, one, it's a fun little video, neat little idea. And then 2, it potentially, will fix something really annoying within the game.
Yeah, it's just a shame that you can send in a bug ticket. Who knows if it ever gets looked at?
This is what I think happens. Yeah, fuck. That's like 8 hours of work trying to figure out. Yeah, I'll do it later. It's tap time, anyways. I'm gonna go draw another giant boss, ice giant boss. I'm gonna work on that for the next 3 months.
Or they look at their bug tickets and they're just like, holy fuck, it just keeps...
Kill yourself, no microtransactions, RuneScape, kill yourself, Monash, you're cool. Like just like all these like really shitty bug reports they have to sift through.
Or it's like when you go onto an old email account and it has like 5,000 emails and you're just like...
Delete all?
God. Yeah, I'm going to either delete all of it or I'll just gonna let it pile up. There's probably some important shit in that pile, but I'll get to it one day.
I'll delete all, and if it's really important, I'll get it again. Someone will send in that same bug.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's the Prince of Nigeria again.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on to something that I think could be a big deal. Not many people do, which also kind of makes it a big deal in my mind. To start it off, Jagex they've partnered up with Twitch to have a little promotion.
Twitch, Deagin RS. Sorry, continue.
Oh, no problem. They've done this before, not a big deal. So what they did in the past was with Twitch or Amazon Prime, you're able to...
You use like your Twitch and you use your Amazon Prime to get Twitch Prime, and Twitch Prime like allows you to sub to someone for free.
Right.
But
okay,
you also
get
like a lot of game rewards for like a bunch of random ass games like Call of Duty and like Realm Royale and
Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite. There's a couple Fortnite ones. And I guess soon there will be like the old school / I guess the RuneScape in general. They're going to have a Amazon or Twitch Prime promotion, right?
Yes, that's how it works. Before you would get a free month of membership. So that's sure, fine, whatever. This year they are giving the membership as well as a purple skin. It's basically an early access because once this promotion's done, all players will be able to get this purple skin.
You say early access, I say how much? I'm going to buy it. Is it survival? Is there crafting?
You better damn well believe it. Not just that, there's Battle Royale.
Oh my god, yeah. Let me get on that.
Last man standing, baby. She's coming back. Probably not. Anyways, so that's the little promotion. Is it a big deal? No, not at all. That in itself is not a big deal. We're all going to be able to get the skin afterwards. Cool. Free membership if you have Amazon Prime. Why not? Not a big deal.
Nice.
This is my worry. These are my thoughts on it. This can arguably be seen as a form of microtransaction. I almost want to say straight up, it's microtransaction. Yeah, it's pretty tame, but if you think of it like this, if you don't already have Amazon Prime and you want this skin early access, you gotta pay for Amazon Prime to get this skin. Are many people going to do that? Probably not. But the issue is, we have mobile going public just around the corner. And we know how much the average mobile gamer deals with microtransactions. It's flooded in every mobile game. They eat that shit up. I think this is Jagex testing the waters to see how much the current community is susceptible to this sort of stuff. They're going to have the data to know how many people get this skin. They're also going to have the data to know how many people get the skin after the event. So it's going to show them how many players are actually interested in this cosmetic reward. I think it can work two ways. They'll see either A, once this promotion's done, they'll see, like, not many people will get the skin, and then afterwards, not many people will get the skin for free. So they'll look at it and go, people don't really care for this skin. That being said, if we release something similar to this with a price tag on it, people might just be okay with it because nobody gives a shit about it. Nobody really wants it. So there'll be very little outrage at it if it were to come out. Or they'll see that a lot of people are interested in this thing. So the same argument. If we release this as a reward, as in-game money, like an in-game money reward, with real-life money, we might have a lot of people jumping in on this for something purely cosmetic. So the reason this also kind of worries me is because on the subreddit and on their Twitter, there's been very little concerns about this. There's the odd person saying, what the hell, they're trying to bring in microtransactions, or just a little bit of outrage. But if you look through the comments, most people are saying, who the fuck gives a shit? People are overreacting. It's just a skin. Nobody really cares. But don't think for a second Jagex isn't looking at the response to this. If they're seeing a lot of people look at it and they go, who the fuck cares? People are overreacting. They're going to make a little note of that. We've talked about it a dozen times before. RuneScape 3 flooded with microtransactions. Oldschool RuneScape, time and time again, they say it will never come into the game without a poll. But we see a bunch of other things come into the game without polls. A lot of the time we're okay. Game integrity, we understand. Promotional event, okay, they're partnering up with Twitch, hoping to bring in some more players. A lot of people are looking the other way on it. They don't really care. So, moving on from that, 3 weeks ago, there was a post on the RuneScape subreddit, not Oldschool RuneScape. This was from a poster who goes by the name Dan. He is not a RuneScape player himself, but he seems to do journalism within the gaming community. So he made a post because he wanted to hear people's opinions on some of the microtransactions going on RuneScape 3 right now. He says, "Evening all, I am currently working on a story regarding free games, paid games, and the impact of microtransactions on both. I've been reading recent posts in this subreddit and would love to get some comments on the following. Since microtransactions was introduced into RuneScape, have you made any purchases? Do you feel the overall impact of microtransaction has been positive or negative? What are your thoughts on the impact of microtransactions on the gaming industry as a whole? For those of you who have not spent any money on microtransactions, what would push you to do so? And then, the last bullet point. What are your thoughts on the upcoming old-school RuneScape microtransaction experiments? Kindest regards, Dan." So the top post on that thread is him quoting the upcoming old-school RuneScape microtransaction experiments, and then he says, "Wait, what?" Immediately, that part of the post is edited and removed. Some people made a thread, different threads, on RuneScape 3 subreddit, asking Mod Osborne, which is one of the J-mods who kind of oversees the whole project, asking him, what did that journalist mean when he said, when he said experimenting with microtransactions in RuneScape, old school RuneScape. So the 3 points in this post made by Cran BTW. And they said, the way I see it, one of 3 things is going on. 1, Jagex is planning on bringing in microtransactions into old school RuneScape. 2, Jagex blatantly lied to the RuneScape 3 community to appease us during the last storm without any base of what they said. 3, Jagex legitimately had plans to introduce microtransactions into old school RuneScape in the past, but they then backed down after the community lashed out at previous events. So Jagex Osborne came and made a post saying, there are no plans to bring MTX to old school RuneScape. I don't know anything about a removed comment, so I can only assume it was uninformed. That's what he had said. Could this just be a journalist who got things mixed up because he doesn't play RuneScape? Sure, easily. Could he have found out some insider knowledge that he was not supposed to let leak to the community? It wouldn't be out of the realm of question. It seems just like yesterday, they had the Premier Club emotions, or the new emote for Oldschool RuneScape come out. RuneScape 3, you have to pay money in order to get that emote. Depending how much you paid, we'll give you whether a bronze, silver, or gold shield as your emote. We got all of it, but this was also going on during the Revenant Caves, the Wildy Rejuvenation update. The amount of uproar the community was currently going through. We talked about this, and we believe that if they had planned on making you pay money for it, they realized people were so upset at the current state of the current update, I should say, on Oldschool RuneScape, that a minor microtransaction thingy would be throwing in way too much fuel into the current fire. I don't know.
Should I give my take on it?
Sure. I'm just worried with mobile coming around the corner. This is all strategically planned.
Going back to the Premier Shield code, because when this came out, I'm pretty sure I was very adamant on, like, this was the first test of microtransactions. My main reason is that you have to type in a code, right? You gotta go type in Premier Club 18 from Diango to get the emote.
Yep.
So they know who goes out of their way to, like, get this cosmetic.
Yep, they know the levels, how much you're playing.
Yeah, so
they have all the data.
So that's kind of why I was pretty set on that. I do want to say, gaming journalism as a whole is a pretty big meme. Like, honestly, I would not be surprised. I would probably bet that the journalists themselves is just really stupid, because at least this is how, like, when I look at, like, gaming articles, typically it comes off as the person who made the article is a failed journalist, so they just went to gaming journalism. That's, like, pretty common.
Yeah, that's fair.
Same with media reviewers, like the whole Cuphead meme review. Guy couldn't even beat the tutorial.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of them are they use gaming because it's easy to, like, kind of get into quotes if you have, like, the background, at least. If you can't get into, like, political, like, journalism. Anyways.
You can find out so much from never having to leave your office chair.
Yeah. So that, I would like to bet that this guy is so dumb that he's gonna ask Reddit what they think of, like, another... It would be like... I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, hey, skateboarders, what do you think about the new longboard wheels that are coming out? I think that he's maybe a little bit dumb, but I agree with you. I do think this is like another step into gauging how microtransaction comes in. So I'm assuming you're gonna have to input a code or something. I don't know, like, I feel like it's gonna have the same system for old school. Maybe you just connect it to your regular account and then you type in a code, but they're gonna have a way to know who uses Twitch Prime, and they might even have, like, ins with Twitch to, like, know if these people got Twitch Prime, because you can get it for free. You can get Amazon, you can get a free month of Amazon Prime, and then you just link that free month to your account, and blah blah blah. Ninja memes. If you ever go on Twitch, you know all those memes. They're probably aware of how long people have had Prime. I mean, I have it, but so I'll be able to get it. But they're gonna know all the people that had early access, people that went out of their way to get it early, and then people that just get it in general. So they know that how many people actually were interested in this cosmetic, went and got it. You know, you guys know how that works. They got the data. I do want to mention this. So everyone freaks out and says, like, this isn't microtransaction. I mean, technically it's not, but, like, this is how you do the first couple steps. Believe it or not, this is going to sound really weird, but there was a time in RuneScape 3 where there was no microtransactions. It was, like, pre-EOC. Believe it or not. Like, that sounds weird. The very first instance of microtransactions was the 28th of February, 2012. That was the very first instance of microtransactions to ever happen in RuneScape, and that was the Squeal of Fortune.
Wasn't there a loyalty club first?
There was a loyalty, yeah, so the loyalty program came out in 2011, June 28th, 2011. And I guess that was kind of microtransaction-y, but it was already like, if you're subbed, you just get these passive coins, and then you use that to get like an advantage, I guess. It was more of like a way to just get people to subscribe, because there wasn't a way to get more points than other people. It was like, if you're subbed, you get this much, and the longer you're subbed, the more you get, you know?
So that's not technically microtransactions, but similar to this, you can get a lot of valuable data that will help you when you do bring out microtransactions.
But I do think it would kind of be like, if you subbed to like old school, you'd get like more ether at Revenant Caves or something, right? And maybe that's a really bad comparison, but yeah, the loyalty program, of course, there's an advantage. They came out with auras and cosmetics, but like, that was more of like, you're subbed, blah, 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 blah.
The only reason I brought that one up, though, was because that was the very first thing. And then when the microtransactions come out afterwards, you can kind of look at that and go, that's what they were doing.
Okay, well, so here's the timeline, pretty much. So, June 28th, they came out with the loyalty program, 2011. And then July 26th, they came out with Clan Citadels. Isn't it funny how we really want clans? We talked about, like, Clan Citadels shit, like, 2 weeks ago. Like, a lot of people want Clan CCs to be revamped. Kind of funny how it's kind of lining up, but... And then, September 2011, they came out with another batch of loyalty program buffs. You got more, there's more stuff to choose from.
Okay.
And then, this is, like, the biggest thing. So, December 6th, 2011, this is when they came out with Chrome goggles, the Google Chrome goggles. And Loyalty Batch 3. I don't want to call, like, I wouldn't consider Loyalty Program microtransaction, but it is related to, like, membership and getting an advantage. So it's kind of microtransaction-y. But the Chrome goggles, so, yeah, you might be wondering, what is Chrome goggles? So the Chrome goggles was something you got if you logged into RuneScape while in a Google Chrome client.
Ah.
And I remember people being upset because I don't like Google Chrome. I don't want to have to log in. But it's fine. You log in once and you just get them in your bank. Boom. Like, I have them on my account. That happened by accident because I just used Google Chrome at the time.
Sure.
So, Google Chrome goggles comes out. That is, like, that is, like, very similar realms of these Twitch Prime skins that you get.
Yeah, it sounds very similar.
You can get them for free. It takes, like, both take very minimal effort to do. And then
it's a purple skin that's the same color as the Twitch logo.
Yeah, that skin was it was a pull between the blue skin that we got or the purple on Halloween, so it does kind of work. But yeah, what a coincidence, eh? Wow, Perfect.
So December 6th, we got the Chrome goggles.
Yeah, so the Chrome goggles came in, and then 84 days later, the first, like, true instance of, I should say true, because these are kind of instances of, like, microtransaction light.
They're testers.
It's like pay for convenience, pay for benefits. This is like pay to win, kind of, where it's like Squeal of Fortune comes out, where you can spend money to get items, experience, and in-game currency.
Yep.
Yeah, this was in 2012. There was articles written up about how RuneScape is doing the first microtransaction, and this is considered technically to be the first case of microtransactions to enter RuneScape, which is, 84 days later of, like, these feely little thingies, these little feelers. I'm not saying 84 days from now we're gonna have, like, Squeal of Fortune, but, like, it came quick. Like, they got the data, they had like 3 tests of loyalty programs and Chrome goggles, and then very quickly they come out with Squeal of Fortune. Squeal of Fortune was taken from, like, a thing called the Wildy Worm, but it wasn't like you pay money and you get it. But it was like an idea taken from Wildy Worm. Not going to go into detail on that because no one cares. But it is kind of weird that 84 days later that Squeal of Fortune comes out. There's a lot of similarities. So free cosmetics is obviously the biggest one. Same things are going on in the community. I think this is more of a coincidence, but, like, back then people were like, we want more shit to do with clans, and now we're like, we want to fuck more with clans. Like, we want, like, a clan citadel of our own. We want, like, a better clan system. hell, like they've made shitty changes that we talked about already with the 150 level cap to like talk in them.
Sure.
And then, well, I guess question mark, then profit. It's like it's a multiple step phase where, yeah, this is kind of coming in. It's weird. I'm not saying that like this is these Twitch Prime skins are microtransactions, but they're not just doing it to be like, okay, 45% of you guys wanted the purple skin over the blue. We're gonna give it to you guys. Like there's you don't do this for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. And we do know, we 100% know, Jagex is maybe not the old school RuneScape team, but Jagex as a whole is very bad when it comes to microtransactions. We know RuneScape 3, terrible for microtransactions. We know old school RuneScape is the exact opposite. We don't want any microtransactions. But if Jagex wants to bring that into the game, they need to plan it out. They need to be strategical on how they're going to do it. They do it too fast. They have to. It's going to be hard for them to bring it in. But if they want to, and they want that money, this is exactly how you would do it. You would test with these sort of things and start making a giant list of notes. How are we going to do this? You're going to want the community to side with you. Most of them. A lot of them won't. Like, some of them won't. Just like with this Twitch Prime thing. There's some people who are out there who are saying, guys, what the fuck? This is fucked up. They shouldn't even be doing this without pulling it. But as you can see, a lot of people are saying, who cares? Not a big deal. It's just a skin.
You do have to keep in mind who the people, like, who are these people that are like, it's not a big deal. Keep in mind how many people have just left RuneScape 3 because of the microtransactions, right?
Yep.
The main thing is that, like, the majority, I'm pretty confident to say the majority of RuneScape players that are playing right now have been playing within the past 2 years. Or, like, 2.5 years. I'm gonna say the majority, like, haven't been playing since the release. I think most people played a little bit when they were young. You know what I mean? Like, the average, like, it's not like everyone's a super hardcore. We all played on release and we're still playing. A lot of people have started coming in. And if there was a number to show, I mean, Jagex has these numbers and they'll never ever tell us. But if I could see the numbers of, like, who's playing, who played on, like, the first month and is still playing, compared to who's made accounts and they're still playing, like, all that stuff, like, it's gonna really be, like, a lot of, like, new blood, I guess, in the community, which is good. I'm not saying that's bad, but, like, it comes with, like, a bit of ignorance to, like, well, like, this isn't a big deal, and it isn't, but, like, it's like the whole It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like, it's the implication. If you ever watched that show, it's like,
I've seen that clip.
Yeah, it's not like nothing bad's happening, but it's the implication that, like, something bad will happen. You know?
Yeah.
Like, if you're like, it's fine. Like, if you just, like, if everyone's like, cool, yeah, that's sweet, then here comes, like, the Cerberus Santa hat meme that I made last year, where it's like, I actually might have I probably didn't, but maybe I'm just making up my own memories. But I swear to God, this is one of my examples of, like, how microtransactions is going to be introduced. I'd have to go back.
Well, it's how it's always introduced. I'm going to cut the music. We've had it going for a little bit, so I think we're going off the conspiracy a little bit.
Yeah, it's probably a good time. It's worrisome, and I don't like having... Well, I like talking about this, but I don't like why we're talking about this.
Yeah, the thing is this a big deal? No, it's not. Could this lead to anything? It might not ever... we might not ever see anything like this again. But if we do see a microtransaction happen, you can just look at this and be like, this is kind of where it all started. Now, people make the argument it started with bonds. That is a kind of a different monster in itself. I can understand why that's there. Does it introduce a new pay-to-win aspect of the game? Of course, 100% it does.
I mean, shit, it's really obvious who's paying to win in this game.
Yeah, I know some people who have 99 range because they were able to afford a bunch of bonds to buy chins and get their range to that, so they can go PKing.
Yeah.
Now, the argument for it is that this allows players who are never going to spend real-life money on the game to actually experience some membership. There's tons of players who are members and never spend a dime of their own money.
It's like a symbiotic, like bonds is like it's a hell, like there is good forms of microtransaction. Like this is like, it's healthy to a certain extent. It's symbiotic where like the whales are buying a bunch, which Jagex makes more money, so they can downgrade our servers and charge us more for membership. And I don't want to pay for that membership, so and I play a lot, and I have, 200 mil just sitting in my bank, I'll go buy a bond. Like, it's like, it works where like the whales get to buy all their gear and quit really quickly. I'm kidding, but like they gotta get what they want instantly. They pay to win, parentheses or air quotes, because you can't really win in this game, but pay to progress. And then the people that are like very dedicated benefit from them doing that because the bond prices are a lot cheaper, and they're able to just not spend real life money on a game that they play all the time. And then also, hey, you're free to play. You never actually have to spend a dime to experience the whole game. Like, it does work out well. There are healthy ways of doing it, but the issue with the debate of like if it really is or isn't creeping, it's like really cyclical, where it's like, well, hey, let's point to the first instance in Old School, which was bonds. Okay, yeah, but that was good for the game. So you're saying microtransactions is good? No. Okay, well, what's the next instance? The emotes. Well, you didn't have to pay for that. No, but it was like, you use that to gather data to see who's going to go out of their way to do the Premier Club stuff, and the RuneFest, whatever it was, to get the cow emotes and shit. Like, you do that to kind of get a feel for like who's going to go out of their way to get extra cosmetics. And then what about Twitch Prime? Well, they're going out of their way to get it early or just in general, but then they're also potentially spending real money to do it, and they'll know if someone is using just the free month of Amazon or not. Like, and then, you know what I mean? Like, it's very cyclical where, like, the arguments, like, kind of just go in the same circle over and over and over again. It's like, yeah, but those aren't bad. But what about bonds? Okay, well, they're good for the game. Why aren't these good? It's like, you know what I mean? It's really tiresome to, like, kind of go over. And then the issue is that either it goes nowhere, and then they go, wow, you guys are stupid for making a big stink over nothing, or it goes to somewhere, and you're like, now the game's ruined. Good job. I was right. So, like, regardless, there's, like, no winners in this whole thing. It's just, weird. So, it's a very weird, scenario to be in, where, like, both me and you are pretty confident that, like, this is not just Jagex being, you know, gracious and, like, hey, we're such nice people, here's free skins.
It's something you always have to be aware of. You can't just think, Jagex is our buddies. They do a weekly Q&A. They tell us they're so transparent. There's an overseer who has their own agenda. Will Old School Runescape fight back? Like the JMod team fight back? I'm sure they will fight back. Runescape 3 probably has a ton of people who make content in that game that sit there and being like, guys, this fucking microtransaction bullshit is really fucking with the stuff I'm putting into the game. Yeah. I'm putting in these new bosses and tons of people are quitting because you guys keep pushing these promotions. But the problem is there's a king commander on top of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, the main issue is that they milk RS3 dry, and then they come to Old School, and then they're going to slowly creep in with microtransactions, and it's going to fucking happen again. And it's not because of, like, the RS3 people, but, like, it doesn't help when everyone goes, like, I would rather have a big circle jerk on Reddit being like, get this out of the game, than, like, it's okay, guys. Like, I'd rather have everyone against some sort of, like this. I'd rather this not be put in the game than it be put in the game, obviously.
And I think that's the main reason why I wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because the fact that this is happening, not a big deal. But it is very important the way the community reacts towards this. And the way they did react and are reacting is what worries me. There was maybe 2 or 3 posts I saw that started to gain a little bit of traction, and not even that much.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if everyone reacted being like, this is what the fuck, Jagex? Why are you bringing this into the game? You didn't pull this. This is the first instance. If everyone was overreacting, Jagex would have to go to their fucking drawing board and go, all right, so we need to be a little bit more discreet with this. But instead, they can go back to the drawing board and be like, all right, so like 30% of players aren't happy with this, but 70% don't give a shit.
Yep.
So let's make a note of that.
Keep in mind, if the community wanted microtransactions in the game, there would be so much in Old School.
There's a lot you could do.
They would never ever say, no, that's not good for like if they had a poll, and it honestly had a 98% chance to pass for we want microtransactions. They're not going to be like, guys, that is so bad for the game. You guys are going to get, like, horribly burnt out, and, like, you guys are going to want to quit after. Like, they'd be like, oh, fuck yes, we're making bank, we're getting raises, we're getting, Christmas bonuses.
Yeah.
Like, they want to put it in there, and they're kind of just, like, waiting for the right moment. Because, like, I honestly feel like there's going to be an episode where we go, okay, well, I'm not going to play this game anymore because there's microtransactions.
Yeah, it finally happened.
Yeah, like, I know there's going to be a day that happens. I'm going to dread it, where we're going to have to, like, have the talk where it's like...
You have to sit down with everybody and be like, what do we do with this podcast? Do we close her up? Do we keep playing the game? It's rough. And you look at RuneScape 3. When I was playing it, everybody is max level. They've sunk so much time in that.
You can max in, like, 3 months in that game.
Well, that, but also... people are so invested into that game that they're just not willing to quit.
Yep.
Anyways, food for thought. Unfortunately, I feel like the ship has sailed on to fight back against this promo update, and this might just welcome the next Google Chrome goggles.
Yeah, like, that's kind of what I'm worried about, because, like, Google Chrome, well, what's literally download or just use Google Chrome when you got it. Cool. In your bank, no effort. But it's like, why is that a thing? Well, it's a promotional thing. Well, why are they promoting Google Chrome?
Yeah. Google
definitely doesn't need RuneScape players. Twitch definitely doesn't need RuneScape players to get Twitch Prime. Like, if you look at, like, here, before we move on, I just want to, like, mention that, like, RuneScape does not have a big presence on Twitch. Besides, like, Deadman mode and, like, big updates are, like, the reason why it's so, they completely fucked with the whole system, and because I've watched like a lot of because I play and I stream and I watch RuneScape, it comes up like near the top because it's like, you'll probably like this game. And they changed the layout of it. Let me try and find the right directory. Okay, yeah. If you like look at like where RuneScape sits on Twitch, it does not have a big presence at all.
It's not one of the top dogs, but it sits in the top 20 at all times.
Well, currently it's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard on a Sunday, and RuneScape's like position like 36 right now.
Really?
Yeah, like it sits far down. Like it averages like 6K viewers pretty much. Keep in mind right now it has 5K viewers and 1,000 of them are view bots on one of those fake giveaways.
Okay, yeah.
So keep that in mind. Like the and then the person in second. I can almost guarantee you Viewbot's not going to name him, but like I've looked at his Twitch stats and I'm pretty sure he's viewbotting. But like take away all that. I mean, wow, I guess no one's fucking watching it. If Bodhi and friends like Foe and them aren't streaming, like this category is fucking dead. Without Viewbots, like we're sitting under like 3,000. We're going to be sitting around like 3,000 probably viewers, which I mean, it's not really that good, right? Like,
compared to other things, right?
Compared like Warcraft 3 is pulling more viewers, and like random ass games like Heroes of the Storm. What? Destiny 2? What? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't have a big presence where like you look at Fortnite where like they have a lot of Twitch. I mean, I guess Fortnite's a bad example because it's literally the biggest game. But they have like a lot of Twitch Prime like cross promotional things. And so does like Overwatch and like PUBG, like the new COD, but like those games sit like really high up on the list. Like Fortnite has 241,000, RuneScape has like 5,000, but 1,000 are guaranteed view bots. Like no, it's one of those fake giveaways. So it's like 3,000, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't want to keep beating the dead horse, but like it's not beneficial for Twitch to have this. They're not going to be gaining a lot more subs and money from it.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
Keep your eyes open, people.
Keep your ears peeled and your eyes open.
Yep, exactly.
Your ears open and your eyes peeled. So
don't let the MTX creep up on us.
Yeah.
Alrighty, though. Let's move on to some quick fire lore. This week, we will be talking about the Kalphite Queen, or more specifically, the Kalphites in general. Currently, the Kalphites are the biggest known insects in all of Gielinor. They are related to beetles and scorpions. They have remarkable antennae, which can detect the slightest movement. Their carapace consists of armored plates called lamella. They can use their shell to sense odors by fanning the carapace out like leaves. They use their front legs to dig enormous tunnel networks, which they use as their nests. Currently, 5 different types of Kalphites have been observed. The lowest of all the ranks are the larvae. They are newly hatched Kalphites and can develop into bigger ranks fairly quickly. Unlike the other Kalphites, they are harmless. Then, the larvae have a chance to develop into workers. These Kalphites are the ones that take care of the newly laid eggs. They also provide food to the hive. A pack of workers can strip the flesh of a fully grown camel within only a few seconds. Larvae can also develop into soldiers. The soldier's job is to protect the hive from any danger and are more developed to fight. Unlike the workers, soldiers are poisonous. They are also bigger, aggressive, and have spikes on their antennae and legs. Soldiers are able to evolve into guardians. Guardians are even stronger and bigger. Their job is to protect the queen from any danger. They are often located very close to her, deep into the hive. The final stage that we know of are the Kalphite Queen, the most powerful of them all. The queen's job is to lay small brown eggs, which contain new larvae. Since the queen is the only Kalphite that can lay eggs, all hives must have one. Kalphite queens are able to eject the powerful spines on her abdomen as a defense mechanism. Unlike some of the others, she has no spikes on her antennae, which are instead developed to cast magic spells. The Kalphite Queen has a natural immunity to certain attack styles. The Kalphite Queen has 2 forms. The first form has a green armored shell, similar to the other Kalphites. Once the shell is greatly damaged, the queen usually breaks out of her armor, emerging in a second form. This form is very similar to a giant wasp. When a queen dies, one of the larvae will quickly develop into another one. This makes it almost impossible to slay a full hive of Kalphites. This is all the information that is currently known about the Kalphites. Next week, we will be continuing with our boss lore. Alrighty, so we got a fair bit of action on some of the social medias this week. We got a response from, if you guys remember back a few episodes, Willard on Twitter told us what he was merching. He had told us in a previous tweet that he had spent close to 200 mil on some items, which were 120 mil on Zolra scales and 50 mil worth of blood runes. And he was worried because they were both dropping. This was right after Theater of Blood. So those 2 items were dropping pretty hard, and he was worried he was going to lose out some money. So Deagin gave a little response on merching, and, well, we got a little update now. He says, just to update you on my Blood Rune and Zolra scale merch, I bought the Blood Runes at 235 each, and I sold them at 244, so we made a couple mil. Unfortunately, and then he says, I bought the Zolra scales at 220, but they crashed, and I think I sold them at around 200 each. So made some money, lost a bit money, but I think this is probably where he's going to be kicking himself. He bought the Zolra scales at 220, but they crashed and he sold them at 200 each. Since the Revenant Cave pull with the new items, they have been skyrocketing, and they're currently at 247 each.
Oh no.
So that is just unlucky timing. So that is super unfortunate. You know, it happens. As Deagin said on a previous one, use it as a lesson. Although that is something I don't think you could really learn from. Who knew that this Revenant Cave blog was going to cause it to hike up so high again?
Let me check Ether prices. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Whew. Only 119. Ooh. Oh, thank God. Okay, nah. Because I sold a bunch at like 150. I was like, man, could I have made way more? No, we good. We gooch.
Okay, nice. So they were at 50, and they've almost doubled in price.
Yeah, so I just went and checked my merches because I was really curious, and most of them have gone through. You want to know something fucked?
Sure.
I made like 70 mil flipping, like since we started like talking about them the past couple like weeks.
Damn.
Yeah, I went and, like, just started going through my history, and I have notes about what I've been flipping and blah, 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 just to kind of keep track of everything. It's pretty nice. Like, I haven't done any active PVMing. I just skill. I bought 99 and, like, I bought 99 prayer.
You bought the items for it, or were you botting?
No, I bought the bonds, and then I used my Squeal of Fortune.
Ah, that's good. That's good.
So what I did is I got my Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna just go on a whole other meme, but it wouldn't be funny.
Okay.
No, I banked it. I should say
one day we can.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, but
yeah. Oh yeah, but yeah, I had 99 prayer banked, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Cool. Anyways, we also got some other interesting comments on some of the social medias. So we'll read through some of them. And yes, they are interesting to say the least. So Brad tweeted us, Episode 1 of The Wilderness RS is easily a semester's worth of political science and history in 60 minutes. Brilliant work and well done. So thank you very much for that. It's been a while since I've listened to episode 1, so I can't remember.
Can you even understand what we're saying with that audio quality?
That's the problem. I mean, I'm glad he enjoyed our political science talks and some of the history within it.
Yeah.
It's hard to recall exactly what topics we hit on that one, but thank you very much for that one. So Gina also sends us, what a day to start this. I cannot wait to listen to all the episodes and take the knowledge back to the 2 candidates I am working to elect. Many thanks. Appreciate it. A lot of episodes to go through. And that's a lot of note taking if there's a bunch of things you're having to bring back to 2 candidates. For what? Not entirely sure. I can only assume it's RuneScape related. So Cynical says, she was molded into the image of every male president before her. Of course it felt unauthentic. Wow, thank you at the Wilderness RS. I could not figure out what it was that just did not sit right with me. Not quite following that one, but I'm glad that we were able to sort things out for them. All right, and then Jessica says, let's dive back into this dumpster fire. The Wilderness podcast is giving me the shakes remembering 2016, but also some inspiration on the values that will move us forward. But I'm sure we all had that reaction in 2016. I believe it was 2017 when Chambers of Xeric first came out and the Inferno. But, close to the 2016 year. So, yeah, I'm sure it gave us all the shakes and really pushed us all to move forward, right?
Yep.
And then finally, Akiva says, listening to the Wilderness podcast from being recommended to, not my favorite, but a great listen. Appreciate the honesty. Anyways, for real though, you could tell there's a little weird theme going on with that one. Turns out there was a new political podcast that came out under a similar name as ours. Very similar. A lot of people seem to have been getting us confused with them. So we were receiving a bunch of tweets and emails talking about it. I was very confused the first couple days, let's just say. But I thought they were kind of funny when you put them into the context of a RuneScape show.
Yeah. God damn it.
Anyways, I won't go into any of the other ones. There were some of them were a little racy. Some of the comments we were getting. I
was peering through some of these Twitter accounts, and I was like, "Oh, for fuck! I really don't want to be as even if like they're so dumb they don't know that we're talking about a medieval game from like 12 years ago." I don't want to like associate with them.
One thing that I kind of hope for, which I think would be hilarious, is a bunch of these people hear about this podcast coming out, this political one, so they download it. Wow, they got 90 episodes out already? Wow, that was all released at once. Download some of them, and the first things they hear is, hi guys, you're listening to the Wilderness Podcast. I'm your host, Dilz, and with me is Deagin. Hey, how's it going? So what did you do this week? Well, I grinded out some thieving, and, they're just getting...
So when are they going to talk about Trump?
Yeah, basically. They're just in the car driving, just totally like, all right.
Wow, I didn't know these political science people that like work in the White House are really into video games. All right, well, introduction, I get it. I'll wait through it.
It turns out these, on their spare time, a bunch of these, I don't know, insert political party.
Wait, Trump was just handing out 2.14 mil to people? Oh, God. He really is for the people.
Yeah. Look I heard he spent like 20 hours just doing smithing. He was just making metal and like mining and stuff. Just really getting dirty.
He's a craftsman, I tell ya. 85 crafted.
The guy's like 70 years old wielding a pickaxe. Unbelievable.
Killing dragons and shit, dude.
Apparently robbing people, just pickpocketing money.
Yeah.
We'll move on from that, though. Just a little interesting to deal with this.
Yeah, a little bit of a meme, you know? Everyone talk politics. I'm pretty sure 2 Canadians that have no education in politics at all. I don't think I've never taken a political science class. I got like a 60 in law in high school. I don't think you want to come talking to me about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll try and talk about it, but...
I listen to Joe Rogan. I know all about those SJWs and...
You bring up American politics and I go, I'm Canadian. And that gets my American friends so mad sometimes. I'm like, so it's a Canadian, what do you think about Trump?
Season 4 of The Apprentice was the best one.
Yeah. I'm more of a Gordon Ramsay guy myself.
Yeah.
I like what he does, like his reality shows.
Alrighty though, let's move it on. So if you want to get in contact with us, you can find us at The Wilderness RS on Twitter. Our Facebook is facebook.com/thewildernesspodcast. Our email is thewildernesspodcast@gmail.com. And our in-game clan chat is WildCC. Deagin's got some stuff. Oh, we got Discord that posted on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, I'll just say Twitter RS. Don't worry about Twitch, because like if my mic has been really bad this episode, I apologize. Like I don't know. Everything's gone to shit. I don't know. I might have to go buy like a whole new mic audio interface setup.
Oh shit.
And like I've had like a lot of like power going on. Like I just haven't been able to stream. I mean, there's times where I could, but I'm just like, I have so many like random hardware issues. Like Discord's fucked. VoIP in general is kind of fucked. I've had these really random issues that like I don't even know what's gonna happen to my computer if I start streaming. So I've been like slowly. It's like whack-a-mole, I guess. Like I fix one problem and 2 pop up, but I hit one mole and 2 pop up, and it's getting to the point where I'm like, I'm getting like I just gotta like just chill with my situation, just deal with it. Stop trying to fix shit, 'cause I'm just making it worse.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, Twitch, Twitter, Deagin RS. All that good stuff.
There it is. Fun. All right. So our song of the week was suggested by the Dolphin on Discord. And the song he suggested was Jolly R. I used to jam out to that when I was skilling board back in the day. That or Norse Code. So we got those 2 lined up. We'll have to tackle one next week, I suppose, if we don't get any suggestions. I think we're going to play Norse Code because this is actually an interesting song. The wiki has a little description of it, and it says, the track's name is a portmanteau of Norse, which is Scandinavian, and Morse code, a form of telecommunications. It was released along with Fremenic Isle and the respective quest on February 6th, 2007, and it uses a 3/4 beat. In the actual track, a secret Morse code message is present. The high-pitched flute plays in Morse code. The short notes are the dits, and the long notes are the das. Okay, that makes no sense unless you're actually looking at the subreddit, or the wiki. But anyways, the full sequence spells out the letters for Runescape. Although the timing between the letters is incorrect, 3 dit intervals should be left between each letter, so the interpretation would be very different when the rules of deciphering Morse code are strictly followed. Some trivia, and this is how I first heard about it. Mozzie, a main character in the TV series White Collar, mentioned RuneScape's hidden flute solo in Season 2, Episode 9, Point Blank, while trying to solve a music box puzzle. Alright, so here's a clip from that little show. Thought it was kind of entertaining. Here it is.
Sounds could correspond to numbers, wavelengths.
Paula's discovery of hidden music in The Last Supper.
RuneScape's encoded flute solo.
Don't forget Close Encounters.
It's weird. I wonder how someone would get aware of that who's like writing the show. Like, I'm sure no one else would get what the fuck RuneScape is.
I
when
bet you his
writing
like
that.
kid was like playing on their PC, you know, and he just had the sound on, had the music, and he's just like, the father's doing, you know, work.
Yeah, maybe. Alrighty, guys. Thanks so much for listening.
Yeah, someone's getting robbed outside, as you can hear at the car alarm, maybe. Might be over talking. No, this is crazy car alarms going off right now. So it's a good time to end the episode.
Fair enough. So anyways, let me quickly just say, this track is unlocked when the player first visits Fremnik Isle. It is composed by Adam Bond. Alright, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Catch us next week for, episode 95. Deagin, you got some Morse code going out over there.
Yeah, for real. Alright, have a good one.
Thank you.